Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here, and yeah, it's been like over 2 weeks now since I made a video once again. Yeah, it's just like I've been saying, like been working a lot more, and I've just been like really busy. But yeah, here I am now to make another video. Yeah, and like I told you guys before, like I said, like before February ended, that I would make a retro No Way Out review. Yeah, and now here I am to do that. Here I am at the end of February. Yeah, it's February 28th now, so the last day of February. Yeah, but yeah, February hasn't ended yet, so yeah, so I still am true to my word. Yeah, yeah, here I am now to make that a retro No Way Out review. And yeah, and for this review, this is going to be a review for No Way Out 2000. So, yeah, so this is a show that, oh gosh, I mean, this show really just seems to really be all over the place. Like, I mean, gosh, I mean, just it's just so inconsistent with the show. Like, there's some stuff on the show that's good. There's some stuff on the show that's bad. Like, really just it's just all over the place with the show. Like, yeah, and really just the show really doesn't really get talked about a lot. I mean, it probably like the show is really best known for the main event, but yeah, as far as like the rest of the show, it really doesn't get talked about really a lot. Yeah, and I guess it's not really hard to see why, because just the rest of the show really just seems like very hit and miss. Like I said, there's like stuff on the show that's bad and stuff on the show that really is good. So yeah, so the show really seems to be like a mixed bag. Like it really is just like very inconsistent throughout the entire show. But yeah, but what is good on the show? It is like really good. Like yeah, you do have like quite a few like really good to great matches on the show. Yeah. So due to like what's good being like really good, I find it really hard to really say that it really is a bad show. Like I said, like the card on the show really is like just like very inconsistent because yeah, some stuff gets good and like some stuff gets bad. But yeah, but like I said, what does get good, it is like really really good. Like this show really does have like some really good to great matches on here. So yeah, despite the fact that the card is very inconsistent due to like what's good being like really good, I find it really hard to really call this like a bad show. So yeah, so I do think that this show is like good. Like it is a good show, just like, but yeah, really I cannot like cancel out the bad stuff, like because yeah, this show still does have like some bad stuff on it, and due to that, I really do think that this really does stop this show from being uh like a great show. But yeah, like I said, what is good is really good, and it really is hard to really like call it a bad show. So yeah, so overall, yeah, this is like a good show because yeah, like I've been saying, just like it does have like some really good to great matches on the show. Yeah. Yeah. So really, just yeah. I mean, just really don't know what else I can say about it because yeah, like it still has like some really really good stuff on it. So yeah. So I guess I'll just start talking about the matches on the show. Yeah. So yeah. So the show kicked off with the Intercontinental Championship on the line. It was Chris Jericho defending against Kurt Angle, who yeah, Kurt Angle was also the European champion at the time. Yeah, but yeah, this like the European title wasn't on the line in this match. Like this match was only for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, and this was a really good to great opener right here. Yeah, this was still like a relatively early on in Kurt Angle's career. Yeah, yeah, Kurt Angle was had only been in the company for like a few months at this point. Yeah, and he just won the European title like a 2 or 3 weeks prior, and yeah, and now like he was challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, and this, like I said, this was a really good to great match. I mean, yeah, this was probably the first like really really good match of Kurt Angle's career. Like this really was like a really good match right here. Yeah, I mean this match really just did like go back and forth between the two guys. Like yeah, it was just like very like fast paced and yeah, some really good action between both of them. Like it just really like it did go like back and forth throughout the entire match. Like there was like this one cool spot where like Kurt Angle was like trying to go for a Hurricane Rana or something on Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho countered it into like a power bomb. Yeah. Then yeah, then when Kurt Angle like hit an angle slam on Chris Jericho, it looked like that might have been it, but Chris Jericho survived. Yeah. Then Kurt Angle then like tried to hit Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental Championship, but Chris Jericho was able to dodge it, and then got Kurt Angle on the walls of Jericho. But yeah, Kurt Angle was able to get to the ropes and break it. Yeah, yeah. Then yeah, then like as they were like on the outside of the ring, then at one point, then Kurt Angle then like grabbed the European title, tried to use that, but China, who was at ringside with Chris Jericho, like was it like stopped Kurt Angle from using it, and then Kurt Angle then like as he was like trying to like go after China or something, and then Chris Jericho then like knocked Kurt Angle, well hit Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle like fell into China, and so then China then like fell into the like steel steps, and then as the referee was trying to help China, like uh Chris Jericho then like a suplexed Kurt Angle back into the ring, and then Kurt Angle then tried. Chris Jericho tried to go for the lion salt, but then Chris Jericho went for the lion salt, then Kurt Angle then nailed Chris Jericho with the Intercontinental Championship, and then yeah, then Kurt Angle was then able to pin Chris Jericho, and so then Kurt Angle won the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, and so yeah, and this was that at the time when Kurt Angle held both the European and Intercontinental titles at the same time. Yeah, so yeah, so this was a pretty good match, right? You hear, yeah, this was just like a really good to great match. Yeah, and a really nice way to open the show. And yeah, like I said, this was probably like the first really good match Kurt Angle had in his career. Yeah. So yeah, good way to open the show. I would give this match probably I guess I would give it like a 3 3/4. Yeah, it was like a really good to great match. Yeah. And I guess something that I should also probably mention here is like after Kurt Angle won, like Earl Hebner then like came out of the ring and then was like trying to explain to Tim White, who was the referee in the match, like what went down. But yeah, and it just like kind of like led to like them like really bickering in the ring. Yeah, and this like would come into play like later on in the night, which I will talk about later on. Yeah, and then next up, then we had the tag team titles on the line. It was the New Age Outlaws defending against the Dudley Boys, and yeah, this match really was not very good, and yeah, and plus like it was really short as well. It was only like about like 5 minutes long. Yeah, like Billy Gunn like was actually like injured at this time, so yeah, so Billy Gunn like was not really like involved in this match. Like it was really just the Road Dogg in there. Yeah, and yeah, and this match really just like was not really that good, and plus there was nothing really memorable about it. All it really was just like the Dudley Boys just like fighting just really more with Road Dogg and not Billy Gunn. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, then like as they were like just going at it like the Dudley Boys then like got the upper hand on the Road Dogg. Yeah, then yeah, then like as Billy Gunn was like on the outside of the ring, like uh Bubba Ray Dudley then like a hit Billy Gunn in the shoulder with the lead pipe. Yeah, and like it was like a shoulder injury that Billy Gunn had sustained at the time. Yeah, and you could even like see that he was hurt at the time because yeah, he was like kind of like having his arm like this. Yeah, and so then yeah, yeah, so Billy Gunn like got hit with a lead pipe in his shoulder. Yeah, then eventually the Dudley Boys then hit a 3D on a Road Dogg, and then yeah, then they were able to pin Road Dogg, and so the Dudley Boys won the tag team titles. Yeah, and this was like the Dudley Boys' first reign as WWF tag team champions. So yeah, this match has a distinction for that. Yeah, but yeah, this match really just was not very good. It was really short, and yeah, just yeah, and plus yeah, it just really like really didn't help that Billy Gunn was really injured at the time. Yeah, yeah, and like after this, like Billy Gunn was like out for like several months, and he didn't come back till like October or November. Yeah, so yeah, so this match really just was not very good. I would give this probably like a, I guess I would probably give it like 1 star. Yeah. Then yeah, then next up, then we had oh gosh, Then we had Mark Henry versus Viscera, and yeah, this was awful. I mean, this was just like so dumb. I mean, this was just like still like during the that whole thing where Mark Henry was with Mae Young, and then yeah, then of course like had that angle with Mae Young being pregnant, and like Viscera like ended up like attacking Mae Young at the time, and that like really did lead to this match. Yeah, and this match was just like really awful. Like these guys just like were not meant to face each other, and it was just like very sloppy action. And then eventually, then like Mae Young then came out, and Viscera tried to go after her, but then Mark Henry then like attacked Viscera, and then eventually pinned him. So Mark Henry got the win. Yeah, but this whole thing was just like so bad, and yeah, this match just sucked. So I give this match a dud. And then next up, then we had the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian, and this was like a number one contenders match for the tag team championship. Yeah. And this was also a really good to great match right here. Like, yeah, this is just like a real gem of a match right here. Like, this match was just really awesome. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, like people are gonna always like think of like the ladder matches and the TLC matches, but yeah, here like just like a straight up normal tag team match. Yeah, this was also still like a really good to great match right here. Like, this match was just like really awesome. I mean, yeah, this is kind of like another example of like how like people can really make the debate that the tag team division was really like one of the best things about the company at the time. Like, and this match really does show it because yeah, the tag team division really just like there were like a lot of really great tag matches at the time, and yeah, tag teams really just were in like a lot of awesome matches, such as the the ladder matches and the TLC matches, and yeah, then I talked about like some other tag matches that did like happen like around this time. Yeah, and this is another example of that. Like, this really was just like a really awesome match right here. Like, this really just like went like back and forth, and yeah, and there was like a lot of double team moves throughout the match. Yeah, and it was just like a really awesome match. Match right here. Like, both teams like really just like did gain the upper hand just throughout this entire match right here. Yeah, one of the like cool moments about this match, like at one point, like as Edge was in that corner, like there was like the Hardy Boys like were double teaming, like they were doing the thing where like Jeff like jumps over Matt, but yeah, as they were like doing that, like as Edge jumped over, I mean, Jeff jumped over Matt, then Edge just like hit speared Jeff in midair, which was a pretty cool moment right there. Yeah. 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 And it just really just did like really go like a back and forth throughout this whole match. Yeah. And there were like some awesome double team moves right here. Like, there was like this one point where like a, each team like kind of did go for a pin. I think it was like a, I think like Edge went for a pin, and also Jeff went for a pin. I think, yeah, but yeah, both guys ended up like counting out. The guys that they were pinning count ended up like kicking out. So I thought that was kind of a cool moment right there. Yeah, yeah, and it just really did go back and forth throughout the entire match. Yeah, and it was like really awesome in ring action. Then you like at the end of this match, then you had the bit where like you had Jeff like attempting to go for a swanton, but Terry, who was like in the Hardy Boys corner here, ended up pushing Jeff off the rope. Then as Matt like was like questioning her, Terry then slapped Matt, and then Christian then hit Matt with the unprettier and then pinned him. So yeah, Edge and Christian ended up getting up in the win. Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, Terry ended up like turning on the Hardy Boys here. Then as the Hardys then were like trying to like grab Terry, then the APA, who like Terry did hire for protection, ended up coming in and attacking the Hardys. So this really was like a really like awesome tag match right here, and just a very hidden gem. Like, really just I don't hear anybody really talking about this match, but yeah, this was a really great match. So if you haven't seen this match before, definitely give it a watch because it is an awesome tag match. So I think I would probably give that a 4 stars. It really was just like a really good to great tag match. And then after this, then the next match was the Big Boss Man versus Tazz. And yeah, and this match really just like was not anything. Like, this match only lasted like less than 90 seconds. Like, it was just like them going at it, and then when it looked like Taz could have possibly gotten the win after Taz had the Boss Man in a Taz mission. Albert, who was at ringside with the Big Boss Man, ended up interfering and attacking Taz, and so then that got Big Boss Man disqualified. Yeah, but then the Big Boss Man and Albert then just double teamed Taz and beat him down into the ring. Yeah. So yeah, so just did this match really need to be on the show? This really was just a really useless, especially since it was only less than 90 seconds long and ended in a disqualification. Did this really need to be on here? Yeah, both this and the Viscera Mark Henry match just were totally useless to be on the show. Yeah, so yeah, so since this match was just less than 90 seconds, I'm not going to be rating this it really doesn't make sense to rate a match this short, but yeah, it just really was just very useless and didn't need to be on the show. So yeah. And then the next up then was X-Pac versus Kane in a no holds barred match. Yeah. And just yeah, this storyline was a really good storyline. Yeah, this was going on for months. Yeah, this storyline was a pretty underrated. You had of course the previous year X Pac and Kane were friends and they were teaming up and stuff, but then eventually X Pac ended up turning on Kane, and also Tori, who was Kane's girlfriend, ended up turning on him as well and aligning with X Pac. Yeah. And this was really just a pretty awesome rivalry. And of course, you also had a Paul Bear coming back and realigning with Kane. So yeah, so in this match, Tori was in X Pac's corner and Paul Bear was in Kane's corner. Yeah, and yeah, then they had their match here. Yeah, and yeah, this match this was decent a decent match. But yeah, the problem with this was this was a really short match. This match was only 7 minutes long or 8 minutes long. Yeah, so why was this match so short? I really don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, this was an okay match, but yeah, I mean, I really feel that this probably really should have been a lot better. Given the rivalry that these guys had, this really did kind of leave a lot to be desired, to be honest. This match was all right, but yeah, it just felt that we could have gotten a lot more here. Yeah, yeah, they were fighting along the entrance way, and then they fought off the stage and stuff. Yeah, and then you had a Paul Bear attacking X Pac. Yeah, and then then they were just kind of just fighting amongst each other for several minutes. And it's yeah. Then at one point, then like Kane ended up surviving an X Factor from X Pac. Yeah, and yeah. Then as Kane ended up choke slamming X Pac, like uh, then like Tori then tried to get involved. There was this one point where a Paul Bear was attempting to go after X Pac, but then Tori then slap Paul Bear, and then Paul Bear was chasing Tori around the ring. Then as a Tori then tried to get involved in the match, then Kane ended up tombstoning Tori. Then the match then just ended kind of abruptly, where Kane then just grabbed the steel steps, preparing to hit X Pac with him, and then X Pac then just drop kicked the steps right back into Kane. Then Kane fell back, and then X Pac then just like leaned onto the stairs and was able to pin Kane. So yeah, so that was it, and that's how the match ended. So yeah, so I mean, the match just ended like that. I mean, that kind of did make Kane look kind of weak to lose in that fashion, and especially with the match being as short as it was. Yeah. So yeah, so it was a decent match. The stuff that did happen was fairly decent, but yeah, I just really felt that this match really was kind of a disappointment, and it really did leave a lot to really be desired. So yeah, so I would probably give that match probably a 2.25. And then next up, then we had a six-man tag. It was Too Cool, Sky Too Hottie, Grandmaster Sexay, and Rikishi versus the Radicalz, uh, were of course Perry Saturn, D. Malenko, and Chris Benoit with Eddie Guerrero in their corner. Yeah, at this time, like Eddie Guerrero, like had like a elbow injury. Yeah, so Eddie Guerrero like didn't compete in this match. Yeah, and this was the WWF pay per view debut of the Radicalz. Yeah, and once again, just like the Hardys and Edge and Christian match, this was another really good to great match right here. Yeah, like all six of these guys really did really well in the match. Yeah, like Eddie Guerrero tried to come out with like some sort of weapon, but early on in the match, Rikishi ended up hitting Eddie with the weapon. Yeah, and this really just was like a really good match right here. Like all six guys looked really good in this match. Like it just like really did go back and forth between both teams. There were just like moves performed by like all six of the guys throughout the match. Like Rikishi's like left leg was like taped very heavily in this match, yeah, which was like kind of a odd to see. Yeah, yeah, and just like yeah, it just really did go back and forth. Like all guys like just were like really involved in the match. There were points where Too Cool like got the upper hand, and points where the Radicalz got the upper hand, and all six guys were just like fighting amongst each other. Yeah, it really just like really was like a really exciting match. Like yeah, and plus the crowd was just like really hot for Too Cool during the time. Yeah, and there was like this point where Sky Too Hottie did the worm on one of the Radicalz. I forgot which one it was. And like I said, this match really just did go back and forth a lot. Then as Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit were fighting with Scotty Too Hottie and Grandmaster Sexay. Then Rikishi then or yeah, it was like Perry Saturn, I think it was, not Dean Malenko. Then Rikishi was like fighting Dean Malenko in the ring. Yeah, then eventually, then Rikishi then delivered a bonsai drop to Dean Malenko and was able to pin him. So Too Cool ended up getting the win. So like I said, was another like really really good tag match right here. So yeah, if you haven't seen this match before, I do recommend giving it a watch as well. Like this was a really nice way to like debut the Radicalz on pay per view. Yeah, and Too Cool really like did really well. I know like these days like people probably will not look at Too Cool like very seriously and probably just look at them as like very goofy. But yeah, they did have like some really awesome matches back during this time, and yeah, this was one of them. So this was like a really awesome match as well. So I would give this probably a 3 3/4 as well. Yeah. Yeah. And then next up, then we had Big Show versus The Rock, with the winner going to WrestleMania for the WWF Championship. Yeah. This really was not that good. I mean, I just felt this whole angle was just like really useless to do and just like not really needed. Like, do we really need to go through all this stuff? I mean, they did this whole thing, I guess, because like it showed that like when The Rock won the Royal Rumble by eliminating the Big Show, it showed like how like when Big Show went over, it showed that The Rock's feet apparently ended up touching the floor, and I guess like that probably wasn't intended to actually happen at the Royal Rumble, but it did by accident. And since it did, I guess the WWF just like felt that they really just couldn't ignore it, and they had to like just do this angle. But they really didn't need to do this. They could have just like looked past that. Yeah, and this match just really just comes off as like really forced because of that. And it really does come off like that. And just I really wasn't a fan of this match taking place, and even the match itself really wasn't really that good. I mean, I really don't remember anything about this match, to be honest. Well, except for the ending. But yeah, the in-ring work, just yeah, there's really nothing very memorable about it. And this match was like 10 minutes long. Yeah. So yeah, it was just kind of like a Big Show and The Rock just fighting for like all the 10 minutes. But yeah, it really wasn't anything memorable at all. Yeah. And yeah, then like Tim White was like the referee for this match. Yeah. Then at one point, as it showed how uh I think it was like Big Show was like attempting to cover The Rock. And then as a Tim White then came back around as he was going to make the pin. Earl Hebner then came out and pulled Tim White out of the ring. This was like in connection with like what did happen with them earlier in the night after the Angle Jericho match, which I was talking about just a minute ago. Yeah, they were kind of like on the outside of the ring, like arguing with each other. Then you then like had a Shane McMahon then coming out like trying to like get the referees under control or something. Then The Rock then nailed Big Show with a steel chair. Then The Rock then hit a rock bottom on Big Show. And then as The Rock then was like going for the people's elbow on the Big Show, then Shane then like got in the ring and nailed The Rock with the steel chair, and then Big Show then ended up covering The Rock, and then Tim White then got back in the ring and made the count. So Big Show ended up winning this match here, and then this like made Big Show the number one contender for WrestleMania. Then we like led to like all the stuff that did happen with like Big Show continuing to go after The Rock, and then The Rock regaining the title shot on at WrestleMania, and then but it was like with like Big Show still in, and then led to the whole thing at WrestleMania with the Fatal 4-Way and stuff, which was just this just really was not needed. I mean, couldn't they have just like done away with this, like, or couldn't they have just had like The Rock win this so we could have just really just gotten the Rock Triple H match at WrestleMania? Did they really need to go through all this crap? So the match really does come off like that to me, just like really like forced and unnecessary to do. And this match just really wasn't even that good. So I would give this match like 2 stars. And then we got the main event. And this was just like such a great main event. It was a Hell in a Cell match for the WWF Championship. Triple H defending against Cactus Jack. And of course, this was also like with Mick Foley's career on the line as well. Like, everyone knows this. Like, the match was like the title, Triple H WWF title on the line against Mick Foley's career, and if Mick Foley lost, he would have to retire. Once again, another Hell in a Cell match. I'm just like continuing to go through them, right? yeah. But this really was just like this was an awesome match right here. This was definitely the best match of the night. This was just like such a great match right here. Their match at the Royal Rumble was like slightly better, but this still was like a really great match right here. Like just this was Triple H's first Hell in a Cell match. So what a way for Triple H to start off his run in Hell in a Cell. Of course, like Triple H was like known for his being in Hell in a Cell matches. Like, Triple H was just like in a bunch of Hell in a Cell matches, like The Undertaker was during the Hell in a Cell's like initial run before the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was made. But this was just like an awesome match right here. Like, it showed how like there were like a whole bunch of locks and chains around the door of the cell, so like to prevent Cactus Jack from like getting out and climbing to the top. Yeah. And this was just like such an awesome match. Like, it went back and forth. There was like a lot of weapon use in the match. Like Triple H like used a chair on Cactus Jack, and like the steel steps were used in the match, and the cell itself was used as a weapon a lot in the match. Like Triple H was just like throwing Cactus Jack in the cell hell a lot, and then eventually Cactus Jack then ended up throwing Triple H in the cell a lot. Yeah. And then at one point, like a Cactus Jack, then like a catapulted Triple H into the cell. So this was back during the time where like the Hell in the Cell was not just like the structure for the match, but it was also like used a lot as a weapon, and it would like bust people open a lot, which you really don't see any of that anymore. So this was back when Hell in a Cell really was Hell in a Cell. And this really was just like a great match right here. Then Cactus Jack then eventually then busted Triple H open. Then at one point, as a Cactus Jack had the steel steps, he like was attempting to like throw them at Triple H or something, but Triple H was able to move out of the way, and then like the steps just ended up going right through the wall of the cell. So that created like another cell door for them to get out of. Yeah, then eventually Cactus Jack then threw Triple H out of the cell. Yeah, then there was then it spilled to the outside of the cell where they continued to fight with each other. Yeah, then Stephanie was trying to get involved. Yeah. Then Cactus Jack ended up then grabbing a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire and started to nail Triple H with that. Yeah, then eventually Triple H then climbed to the top of the cell. Then as Cactus Jack tried to follow, then Triple H then just ended up hitting Cactus Jack, causing him to fall right down to the floor to the table. So, yeah, another Mick Foley Hell in a Cell table spot. Yeah. But yeah, then eventually Cactus Jack then did climb to the top of the cell, and Triple H and Cactus Jack were fighting on top of the cell. Yeah. Then eventually, then Cactus Jack then set the barbed wire 2x4 on fire and nailed Triple H with it again. Yeah. Yeah, and then then Cactus Jack then was setting up to pile drive Triple H onto the 2x4, but then Triple H ended up reversing, and then Cactus Jack then just fell, well, through the roof of the cell down back into the ring, right through the ring. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this was another situation like the two cell falls from the Undertaker to Mankind in 1998. I don't know if this was another thing where it wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. Yeah, and I think that might have been the case because even Triple H saw it, and Triple H was really shocked about it as well. Yeah, yeah, then Triple H then just went climbed back down the cell into the ring, through the roof of the cell that Mick Foley went through. Yeah, Triple H climbed down that back into the ring. Yeah. Then Triple H then just finished Cactus Jack off and pedigreed him. And then Triple H then pinned Cactus Jack and got the win. So yeah, Triple H won and retained the title. And this, of course, was ended up forcing Mick Foley to retire. Yeah. And after this, this Mick Foley did retire, he did of course, compete at WrestleMania in the Fatal 4-Way match. But yeah, this really was just the end of his this run for him in his wrestling career, and he would not return to the ring for another 4 years. Yeah, so this was Mick Foley's initial retirement. And it's interesting. This is really one of the very few matches where a career is on the line where it actually is the that kind of a situation where the retirement and the end of the career does happen. Usually in these matches the when a person's career is on the line, they win the match. Yeah, but here Mick Foley did lose and was forced into retirement. Yeah, there's only been a few other matches to really go through with that stipulation. Yeah, but yeah, this really was just a really great match and definitely the best match of the night. I give this 4.25. Just an awesome match. Yeah. So overall with the show, I guess I would probably give it a I guess I would give it a 7.25 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, just it really is just very inconsistent throughout this entire show. It has bad stuff such as the Viscera Mark Henry match, and the Tazz and Big Boss match was really useless, and even the Kane X-Pac match really was uh, pretty big disappointment. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, what is good on the show? It is really good, such as Angle and Jericho, Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, Too Cool and the Radicalz, and of course the Hell in a Cell. So yeah, so what is good on the show? It is really really good, and that really does make it really hard to really say that this is a bad show. So yeah, due to what is good on the show being really really good, I do give this show a pass. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the show before, I do recommend giving it a watch. You're not everything is really going to be good, but yeah, what is good will be really good, especially especially the main event. Yeah, that the Hell in a Cell is definitely worth watching, and just to see the end of Mick Foley's career like that. Yeah, it really is just such a great moment. Yeah. So yeah, so due to what is good on the show being really good, I do recommend giving it a watch. Yeah. So yeah, so I guess that is the best way I can put it. All right, so yeah, so I guess this is all I really have to say about it. All right, so this is my review of No Way Out 2000. So I hope you guys did enjoy my review for the show, yeah, and hopefully I can try to do videos a little bit more often. Like I don't really want to be taking long breaks like this continuously. Yeah. So I said before how there are a couple of movies that are coming up that I do want to talk about. So yeah, so I'm probably going to do that next. I will give my thoughts on a couple of upcoming movies coming out, how I feel about them being made, and what my anticipations are for them. So hopefully I'll make that pretty soon. All right, so stay tuned for some more videos coming up, and hopefully they'll be coming out more often. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.